Hi everybody, Nikki from Gracie's house. So yesterday I went live and we had lots of noise in the background. Today I'm completely home alone, and although I should have moved everything back up into the workshop, I haven't. I've stayed in the kitchen because we had our first official hard ground frost this morning. So I decided the bookcase was here, the sander was here, I'm staying in the kitchen. So anyone that's out there, hi Debbie, I was just about to say hello, let me know you're watching. I'm constantly amazed at how efficient my Festool sander is. I cannot sing its praises enough. So I've stood looking at this thing thinking, I'm just gonna, hi Kelly, I've just got to get on and do it. And you know what, it's ripped through it, it's so impressive. So I'm ready. I have this piece prepped earlier than I was planned, which means I can paint it with you guys. This isn't going to be a blendy one. Morning Esther. This is just going to be a plain. We're going to do two colours. Hi Jill, you've managed to catch us again. That's great. Sorry, it's going to be a one colour finish. So I'm going to be using Gravel Road. I'm going to be popping open a new big tub of Gravel Road, and I'm going to try something I haven't done before, and you know me, hi Carolyn, you know me, I do like to test things before I come on, just to make sure I'm happy with how it's going to go. Haven't done that. I've got two different colours of no paint gel stain. I'm going to start with Walnut, which is my favourite, but I've also got espresso as a backup. I also have some Big Mama's Butta. It's getting a bit, there you go. This one is the Suzanne's Garden scent. Now, you know my favourite is the Orange Grove, but because I haven't used this one yet in fairness. It does smell nice. It is very floral, very lavendery, I think. But because I'm mixing with the no paint gel stain, I thought a stronger scent might be a nice way to go. So the plan is that we're going to mix a little bit of Big Mama's Butta with the no paint gel stain to give it a different texture, but it'll still go on and you can buff it. That is the plan. So I'm going to get cracking with painting. As I said, it's just a one colour finish. There's no blending, so there's no special techniques I'm going to be showing you today. I'm just doing some painting while you guys are here. If you want to chat, if you want to drop a comment in, you know, I'll always try and keep my head turned around and looking at the camera as well as while I'm painting. So without further ado, let's get going. So my thinking is I'm going to frame it out. Hi Greta, watching from Belgium, thank you. I'm going to frame it out in the Gravel Road, and then the back and the shelves is going to be in the stain. So I'm going for kind of a dark farmhouse look, on the verging on like an industrial farmhouse sort of look, rather than a cream and stain look, a light one. But I've done this before, and it's a really effective way of doing it. Hi Lisa. Sorry, I'm going to just lean in. Hi Diane and Hayley. Did Lisa say? Oh, from Florida, of course. Oh, and another Debbie we've got from Rhode Island. Hi Debbie. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'm going to get started. So I have my Dixie Belle Mini starting to wear off now, where I've been using it a bit more, but I'm pretty good at keeping my brushes relatively tidy. I'm not going to say I'm OCD, because I'm not. I know there's some people that are really OCD, but I don't like it all clogged up. So I'm going to get on. I'm going to just start down here. And this colour's got such great coverage. It's going to match my jumper, but it's got great coverage. I shall do a second coat, but the second coat will almost be, it's almost like you only have to dry brush over the second coat. Hi Judith. So it is just a fab colour, and especially where I've this had wax on as well, so I've had to take it back quite far. Hi Laurie. Yeah, so because it's waxed, it just needs to all come off and then sanding. So because I'm mostly waxing this piece, I haven't taken that back quite so far, but where I'm painting I have done, with the help of my Festool. it made speedy work of it. Oh, I've got something has flashed up there I've never seen before. Oh, it's gone now. Hi, Erin. And you know, I don't always use my water mister on my first coat, but because this is pretty much back to bare, I do very, very lightly mist every now and then just to help the paint smooth out, because obviously where it's bare pine, it's quite hungry wood, quite thirsty wood, should I say. So just adding a little bit of water will just help your paintbrush glide over even more. What do I use to clean my brushes? Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to go and grab it. Sorry, I know I normally have everything ready, but I'm in the kitchen so I can show you. See, there's a good reason to be doing this in the kitchen today, because normally I wouldn't have been able to grab this for you. So this is the scrubby soap, which is available through Dixie Belle. So up until I received this, I would just use dish soap. And to be honest, that's been really good for me. But these are lovely and they smell amazing. So I think there's 3 different smells. So this one's the orange one. I've just dribbled that everywhere. And it's basically, it's a scrubby, but the soap is, can you see? It comes out of the packet, obviously. There. It's a bit slimy. But the soap, the whole sponge has got soap like around it. Really, really good. Really good. And they're good on, it's good on waxing. Wax brushes as well, helps get wax brushes out a little bit. I need to mop my floor, it's gross. I do need to clean up after I've done this. I should actually, what I should have done is taped off that line, but I forgot. I'm too keen to get on and have a chat with you guys and do a little bit of painting. Let's just move this. No worries, Lisa. But yeah, they're really good. So on my next Dixie Belle order, I shall be ordering at least one other smell of those. They're really, really good. Now, don't worry that I'm painting over onto the floor, because paint cleans off these tiles really easily. Okay. So, like I said, this is not, this is just a one colour finish that I'm doing. It's Gravel Road, so it's the darkest of the greys that comes straight out of the bottle on the main range. If you are looking for a darker grey and you're in UK or Europe, there's the Black Sands colour that's on the Silk range, but I didn't want to go quite that dark, so I've stuck with Gravel Road. So what's everybody doing today? Are you where are you? So have I got any Americans watching today? It's quite a big, I think it's still, what time are we now? It's just coming up to 12, so I don't know if all of the information's in for the things. You've got a taller version of this bookshelf. Hang on, sorry, I'm just trying to read. Hi Esther. You're looking for shelving. Staining part. Yeah, walnut's lovely. Walnut's brilliant on pine. I think it stains pine up really nicely. And it just gives it a more, like you say, a more aged finish. So if anyone's, I think I've got all sorts of people watching from all over the place. So today is the last official day where we can go to a shop and buy clothes. So after today, all non-essential shops are going to be shutting in the UK. Is it the UK? Let me say England. I'm going to say England because I think Wales and Scotland have got their own stuff going on. So I'll say England. The schools are carrying on, which is good. As far as I'm concerned, it's good. I think there's people that disagree, but I think it's good. But I think there's lots going on everywhere, isn't there? I had some people that were watching in Australia. Kelly, you're in Australia. How's it going over there for you? Because I think there's all different things happening in different parts of each country as well, isn't there? These brushes are actually really good to cut in with as well. So where I said to you I should have masked off, the mini's got a nice clean edge. So I'm just cutting in without having to take off there. Hi Maria, Laurie, I'm off. Sorry Laurie, I don't catch that. It's 500. Oh, they're still counting, are they? You're going to go and help unpack. Okay. Thanks for joining us. It's really difficult to try and concentrate and read your comments and not look really gormless in the camera. It's like that. I should have got a cup of tea as well. I could have had a cup of tea while I'm chatting with you. So the piece that I was working on yesterday, if anyone was watching, that's been photographed this morning. So I've got some photo editing to do this afternoon, and then I've had someone that's shown some interest already. So that one might already be sold if she likes it when she's seen the finished piece. So that's nice. And my husband, so you may have heard me say that he's a personal trainer. So again, as of today, as of the end of the day, he can train people outdoors, but he can no longer train people. He's got his own gym in the back garden, and he can't have people come to the house anymore, which is sad. But he can still train people outdoors, which is good. But the great thing is, guys, is I get to have his gym as my storage shed again, like I did in the summer. Which means I've got a bit more room to move in the workshop. And it just means I can be more efficient, which I love. So this is going on really, really nicely. Really nicely. And I can already tell that my second coat is going to be so minimal, it literally will be like I'm dry brushing over. Just in case, when it dries, there's a few spots that have missed. And I think I'm going to use, I won't be doing it today, but I think I'm going to use the Satin Clear Coat on this one, on the outside. See, in my head, I know this is a bookcase. I see this stacked with, like, can you imagine, like, kids' welly boots and in a hallway. I've got some hair tickling me there. There it is. Can you imagine this in a hallway if you've not got much room, where it's nice and narrow, stacked with all your shoes and things to keep them out of the way? This is how I see this piece. Not necessarily with books. Hence, that's another reason I've gone for the sort of darker colour. And I will be staining the inside a bit darker. And I really don't load my paintbrush up too much either. Can you see that's all I'm putting on the end each time? It's not masses. I missed a little. So like I said, generally on my first coats, I don't use a huge amount of water. I'm using a very, very light mist, just because it's pine and it's sanded back, so it's thirsty. You're gonna have an alcove unit. Oh, that sounds really cool. Do you know what? I've got some alcoves, but mine are a bit big, but I know the kind of thing you mean. That's going to look really, really cool. So like I said, we're going to frame it out completely in the grey, in the gravel road. So I'll just crack on with this, and then the little bit of experimenting is going to be the mixing of the Big Mama's butter with gel stain, no paint gel stain. Has to be the no paint gel stain. It has to be Big Mama's butter. You can't mix the normal Dixie Belle wax because it's water based. It will not work. It has to be the Big Mama's butter. Already it's making a huge difference, don't you think? I mean, I do like pine, but the problem is whether you wax it, top coat it, whatever you do to pine, it generally ends up going quite yellowy, orangey coloured over time. So I like it as a wood, and I like the grain, and I don't mind knots in it, but I don't like how it goes yellowy. And also, don't forget the knots in pine. You will get discoloration if you're using lighter colours. This is another great reason to do darker colours over pine, because you don't have to worry about putting a stain blocking primer over. But if you're going white, Boss is great. Always use the white Boss on pine if you're going light, because it's giving you some of that transition already. I mean, if you've only got clear, then obviously clear is fine too. But if you're using white and you're going a lighter colour, then, but I've never had a problem with darks pulling through any bleeding from the knots on pine. Sorry you can't see the top particularly well. I think you can see what I'm doing, but you just can't see obviously the actual top of it. So I've got some pieces lined up ready. I've got one set of drawers that I've lined up. It's all prepped. Probably needs another little sand down before I can go live with, but I intend to paint that, guys, with you live. Might not be this week, in fairness. I've got a bit of, yeah. Just had a little bit of skin on there to get out. And also, drop me a message, drop me a comment. If there's anything that you haven't seen, would like to see me do, would like to see me paint, and I can try and work that into whatever I'm working on. Or if it's something that I'm already working on, you never know, I might already be doing it, but just hadn't planned to do it live. So I can try and help you out that way if there's something you haven't seen and would like to see. Or would like to just see from me. Because I appreciate there is lots of us out there content creating. The brand ambassadors are working hard. We're all working hard to show you things. Okay, how's that looking? Yeah. And also, because this is going over bare pine, I will probably do a very, very light sanding. Now, I don't always do that between coats of Dixie Belle. I don't always find it's necessary, but I probably will on this case, just because, like I said, it's the raw pine. I think I've just missed. Hi, Jeanette. You finished yesterday's The Coal Bunker. Yes, I have finished it. I finished all the blending. I'm just amazed that it went in a lot more duck eggy than it in my head, but I'm really pleased how it turned out. I photographed it this morning, so I shall be editing a little bit later, not that much later, and showing that off. It looks nice. I'm really pleased. I've also added some grunge grey Best Dan wax and white. I didn't use black in the end, just to grunge it up a little bit more. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. Maybe I should stand behind it and paint it. I'm going to go this side so I'm not right in front of it. So I've just finished this top, and then I'll do the sides later. I'm quite interested to have a little play with the No Pain gel stain and Big Mama's butter. Water. So what I'm saying is that just now is that where the pine is bare, it's quite a thirsty wood. There we go. Okay. Right. Let me see. So I'm going to pop my lid back on there. Now, I've not done this before with the mixing. Oh, I need to get something to scoop it out with. Now, I spoke to Connie from Faff Designs this morning because she has done this before quite a few times. And she uses a gloved hand and then a sock, and she just scoops a bit out and puts it on with a sock on her hand. I haven't got any rubbish socks, so I'm going to grab a spoon to scoop this lot out with. I'm going to put it on a paper plate. I have well, not a paper plate. I've got a plastic plate that can be binned afterwards. I'm going to start with the walnut, which I'm running low on. That needs to go on my order. I'm going to start with walnut, but not knowing how much how light it will be, adding the wax. Squidge it out, because I'm using quite a bit of. I have no idea how much I'm mixing here. I'm just going to go for it. There we go. Take it away. So there is my plate. It's a mess. So that's my gel stain and this is my wax. And I'm just going to give the two a little mix up, mash it in. Connie's told me it's a really nice way of using. It just makes the No Pain gel stain a little more workable. And gives it a different texture. So it's more like, gives you a more like a dark, really dark wax. And I'm hoping I've put enough wax in there. I have no idea. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. So I've mixed it up to a relatively consistent texture. They've certainly mixed together well, that's for sure. Okay, now I am in love with the Redesign with Prima brushes. Absolutely love, love, love. And I had a lovely delivery this week, or was it the end of last week, with 2 new ones. So I've got the long handled, this is the 2-inch one, and I've got the 1.5 inch, which I used to apply my wax on the little piece from yesterday. So I'm going to use this one on this dark wax. I'm going to put the lid on that as well so I don't get, there we go, that's why. So I don't get mucky. And I should have got, a rag as well. I haven't got anything. 1 second. Sorry, gang. Okay. Workshop towel. Let's get cracking on this one and see how it goes. So I'm going to steer away from the edge of where I've painted. I'm just making sure I've not missed anything. So it goes on really, it does go on like gel stain, but just a little thinner. I like it. And it's probably, I'd say, easier to control than, not that gel stain is difficult. That's not to say it's difficult at all. Oh, I really like it. Can you see much? Let me see if I can bring the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm up to. I can bring it a bit closer. And then a wee bit down. Hang on. There we go. Let's make sure that doesn't flop over. There we go. There we go. Oh, cramp in my hip though. Oh. Oh, it's really, really making the tones in the pine quite rich and almost oaky. And the smell is amazing because I'm using the Suzanne's Garden. It's really, really nice. Oh, I might have found a new favourite thing to do. Yeah, I'm steering clear of this edge just while that paint's wet. I love the way these brushes, they just handle really nicely. I'm going to need some more stain mix. I might need to go over the back piece more, simply because I didn't sand quite as hard as everything else. But because it's already a waxed finish, and this is a wax mix, I think I'll be fine. I hope I'll be fine. A little bit more here, and then I'll get some workshop rag and wipe it back. Now, what do you think I should do here? So on this inside edge, would you paint it or would you stain that? What do you guys think? Okay, I'm just going to have a little wipe back and see how this looks now. Oh, look. How good does that look? What do you think? Oh, it's so rich looking. I love it. I'm loving that. And it does already feel, it will need a bit more of a buffing back, but already it feels like more of a wax finish than you get obviously with the standard no pain gel stain on its own. I don't know if I'm not getting any comments or if no one's commenting. I'm not sure. Okay, we've got some hearts coming. Okay, that's cool. Hearts is good. Hearts knows I'm going in the right direction. I'm going to leave that bit on the back for a bit longer, just to see, just to let it to kind of penetrate a little bit more. I'm going to do this part of this shelf now, but I'm really loving this. And I literally want one of these brushes for every single colour of wax that I have. So any thoughts on this inside edge, what people think? We're loving the dark. I'm loving the dark wax, and I'm glad I started with walnut because it's plenty dark enough for the look I wanted. Just remember, you can't, with stain, unless you strip it back, sand back the whole thing, you can't go from dark to light. You can't. You have to start off light and then you can go darker if it's not dark enough for you, for what you want. And do you know what? This is really messing with my head because all I can smell is the Suzanne's Garden, but all I can see is the stain. So it's not quite like it's not working in my head. Oh dear. I've not got my knee pads on today, so I've got a blanket I'm sitting on because this floor is hard and cold. Oh, it's just so beautiful and rich. Just trying to get on that with that. I think I'm going to paint this this frame edge. I think it will look better painted. I do really like working with no pain gel stain, wiping it back to reveal a bit more of the grain. I know there's obviously situations where you have to leave it much more opaque, but my personal preference is to be able to leave some grain showing that it's wood. Right, let's have a little look and see down there if it's taken enough on that back. Because obviously this type of pine is a lot thinner. It's like a different quality to the shelves and the frame because it's just tongue and groove. So it does take, all different woods take stain differently. Even different pieces of pine will take stain differently. I've got two pieces on here. This has got much more red tone in it than the back piece. I don't mind it, that's what wood does, it's a natural thing. However, sometimes you have to work around it. Oh, lovely. There we go. That's not bad. I'm liking it. Looking really rustic there. Really liking it. This has got some strange like markation. This is probably when it was cut. There's some strange extra marks in it. That's got a piece there. but that's just, it's natural wood and it's how it's been cut and manufactured into what we receive. So I try not to get too precious about it. I love that. Okay, what are we all thinking so far? I'm really, really loving the dark with the dark. Love it. I'm going to get my brush and just paint that edge that we were talking about. So I'm getting the gravel road back out. I'm just painting this. I don't know if you can you see? Yeah, you can see. That's better, isn't it? I think it would have looked a bit strange if it was stained. I think you could have got away with it either way, but my gut was to paint it. And I'll get a little artist brush to just get in that corner so that I don't get it over everything. And the same with there, just to go around that piece. Loving that. Loving that. I'm gonna apologise. Only I don't know if my comments have stopped coming through. Because literally I haven't had comments for ages. I've seen some hearts and some thumbs ups, but I've not seen any extra comments come in. So I don't know whether my internet stopped or whether I think people are still watching. It looks like you are. I've got an amazing aroma of Suzanne's garden. It's really, really nice. I'm going to get my artist brush along there as well. I'm loving it. I think, you know, this is all, there's no more for me to show you other than what I've already done. So we've done the gravel road and we've done the no paint gel stain mix with Big Mama's Butta, which is really, really successful. I love it. I can already feel there's not much buffing back left to do. I will do a little bit because it's still coming off a little bit on my hand, you see. But it needs to, I'll keep going, wiping it back with the rag, and then it will just need to cure. But I love that. And I think that's going to look super effective. So thank you for watching with me, guys. Always, always a pleasure. And as I said, sorry if you've dropped comments. I'll catch up later. I'm hoping that I've not lost them, but I've had nothing for ages. So I hope you've enjoyed this little one. And I hope that the mixing of the two products was unexpected and a nice, something nice that you might try. So if you watch on catch up, I keep forgetting to say this. I've forgotten just recently. If you're watching me on catch up, I really appreciate you taking the time, and just drop me a hashtag replay in the comments. Again, if you've got questions, I do try and come back and check up on any questions that I might miss first time round. So thanks for your time, guys. Bye bye.